y'all. I am in for a live tonight. I want to go ahead and get straight into it because if you've been following certain things, then you all know what's going on with Mr. Derrick Jaxn. I want to say before I get into this conversation, disclosure. So when I saw the original stream last night, part of it, I was feeling some kind of way, and I was actually in full support of an aspect of the story. And that aspect, because I was very, very vocal about this in a comment that I was leaving on the Shade Room. And I was, very much in support of Mr. Derrick Jaxn. And I'll get to that in a minute. Then I go to sleep and wake up, and the dude said he done cheated. He was cheating while he was married to his wife. But that's none of my business. The part that I am talking about and that I am exclusively talking about in this video is dating, because this is one of the things of the story that was coming out initially, where he was saying that the incident that had taken place took place while he was separated. His wife has filed for a divorce and these things had taken place. And then later we find out he cheated on the woman while he was married. Now, the beautiful thing that I love about being myself, and if you haven't rolled with me for a while, then y'all know I'm very transparent about the stuff that I've done, that I don't do. Because, when stuff come back on you, it come back on you hard. And so I like to be upfront with people. I'm the first person to say, I'm a person that's been cheated on. I'm a person who has cheated on someone. I'm a person that has been engaged. I'm a person that's been married more than once. I'm a person that has been single for a while. I have a person that went through a whole phase. I'm a person that went through a casual sex phase. I'm a person right now who's in a committed monogamous relationship. And so I've had all these unique experiences, and I tend not to talk about relationships a lot on my channel simply because, I have these various experiences, and sometimes I wonder about what people may think of me because of them. But, for me, if I do it, then I do it. And I don't mind telling you, hey, yeah, that was me. If you asking about 2012 LaQuanda, yeah, 2012 LaQuanda did that. So I have no problem in saying what I have done, the things that I do and where I'm at right now. But the particular part of this story I want to talk about, and the question that I had was, is dating while going through a divorce cheating? And this is where Derrick Jaxn's initial story, the one that came out on his initial live stream, the one where they were saying that the report was that he was separated. That story reminded me of when I went to a meetup. And in this meetup, we were playing a card game. And one of the questions on the card game, it was like, would you do this? Would you not do this? And one of the questions referred to, if you were going through a divorce, would you date? And a lot of people's like, no, I'll wait till, I'm single and things are finalized. And it was me and one other person in this whole group of women, because it was a group of women who said, yeah, we sure would. And they looked at us, and, we began, the one young lady who spoke out first, she was like, so I end a relationship and y'all expect me to owe loyalty to somebody I end a relationship with. And this whole Derrick Jaxn situation reminded me of that moment, because I agree with her 100%. this is the thing for me, and this is my standpoint. This is how I have always viewed things. If someone has taken out the time to tell you, one, they don't want you. That's number one. They no longer want to be with you. That's the first thing they tell you. Then two, they hire an attorney. That is the second thing that they do. And number three, they file for divorce. Help me understand why you feel you owe that person your loyalty until things are legally split. That is the thing that I don't understand. That is a thing I just really don't understand. If someone is saying they don't want you anymore, why do we always tend to feel like we have to hold on and to remnants of something that doesn't exist anymore to prove some level of loyalty to what? To society? I don't get the point. And because for me, and I'm going to use my personal experience, where I live, if you file for divorce, it can take up to 6 to 12 months before the divorce even goes to court. 6 months to a year before the divorce even goes to court. If the two of you agree, it's 6 months before it can even, you have to sign paperwork, and then it waits a 6-month period. Then it can be filed in the court and go before the judge. So you have to initially do paperwork and then file, and then it goes to where it can go before the judge. If they disagree with you, it's at least a year. That's if you don't have to go back and forth to court. So you want to tell me that someone who says they don't want you anymore, done hired a lawyer, done filed for divorce, is worth you sitting back and not moving forward with your life? That's really, I 100% disagree. I disagree. And I disagree with it on both ends of the coin. I disagree if you're the person who filed for divorce, that you should be chilling, that you should wait and honor the rest of the relationship while you're waiting for the divorce to be in final. And I also disagree about if the person filed from divorce from you, that you should be waiting while the person, until the stuff is over on both sides for both parties. I don't think that either party should be waiting until it's official. I don't. Now, this is where people tend to get tripped up. What happens is people separate, which means they done got into an argument, maybe they done temporarily moved out, and they going around dealing with people, and they hide. They hide the fact that they are legally married. They hide the fact that they are legally married from people. And that's where this whole notion, well, one of the notions, the other one is also religious based. But where people hide the notion that you're separated. Let me tell y'all this right now. You, in 2021, you really don't have to hide anything from anybody. In 2021, you will find someone who can and will agree with your particular situation. Everybody may not agree with it, and that is completely okay. That is completely okay. But you really don't have to hide who you are and what you're going through to find or connect with somebody. You don't. It doesn't have to be a secret. It's 2021. But see, someone wrote, it's a couple of comments. Someone wrote, you should take time for yourself. See, the thing is, this is the thing about that. People assume just because you're in a relationship that you actually with somebody. How many married people do we know and you by yourself? One of my relatives told me one of the most powerful things. She was like, I was with somebody for 10 years and I had no idea I was by myself the whole time. And see, the thing is, we tend to only want to heal and rebuild ourselves when it's in context of a relationship. You should be doing that every day, regardless if you are with somebody or not. The whole problem that I have about this narrative when it comes to these relationship gurus and giving advice to women is that the narrative is usually around healing and being whole and preparing yourself when it's in context of a relationship. But honestly, you should already be connected to have a therapist on radar. You should already be doing things outside of your partner to make sure that you're okay. You should already be nurturing and providing for yourself emotionally. Those things should be standard. But we emphasize those things for women when it comes to relationships. And to me, that is like the biggest disservice we have done to women. We pour and pour and pour, and you can see how many times women will look at stuff in terms of just really self-care and mental health and stuff like that. How many of those platforms have support versus how many of those platforms that talk about relationships have support? And this is the perfect example. Therapy for Black girls versus Derrick Jaxn's platform. You see the difference in the weight of those two platforms as far as viewership, followership, supporters, things of that nature. How come the rebuilding for women is usually emphasized when it comes in terms of getting yourself ready for marriage, getting yourself ready for a relationship, going into relationships, coming out of relationships? Those things should be constantly happening anyway, whether you are in a relationship or not. And it's sad to me that we don't teach the building of ourselves when it comes to a woman's status of just existing, but we associate the building of ourselves to a woman's relationship status. And I myself am guilty of this because check this out. For y'all that's been with me for a while, y'all remember the emotional detox life, right? I spent a whole year by myself after this really just treacherous and just heartbreaking breakup, right? And when I finished that, I didn't date anybody. I sat with myself. I didn't go out with myself. I built myself up. And for y'all, when I'm telling y'all, I'm not talking about stuff just from my personal experiences. I am a mental health professional, been in mental health for 15 years. I am a certified life coach. This is part of my realm. So I'm not just talking out of my personal experiences. But you have to understand, I went through that whole year thinking that this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do, this is what I have to do. And when I finished that year, y'all know what? I was miserable. You want to know why I was miserable? Because I actually enjoy dating. I actually enjoy going out. And I was depriving myself of that experience because I had been taught that when something happens, you need to isolate yourself and you need to sit with yourself and you need to nurture yourself and you need to push people away and I'm sitting up here looking at that stuff and I was like, yes, there is times and moments for that. But where's the moments of just enjoying life? And I was told myself back at the end of 2015, when that year was over, I would never do that again. I would never do that again. And this is the thing. Hold on, I hit my fingers. This is the thing, y'all. This that I'm talking about right now ain't for everybody. Not everybody can handle, and I want to be very clear, not everybody can handle when a breakup or something happens, or a separation or divorce, filing for divorce happens, and you going out and dating. Not everybody can handle that. And people have moral reasons. People have reasons of feeling guilty, don't want to feel like they're leading other people on. They don't feel like they're ready. All that is okay. All that is okay. But what I am saying, for people who are like myself, I learned way back when that I enjoyed dating. And if something with someone did not work out, I was not going to sacrifice what I enjoy simply because something didn't work out, or there was this notion that, oh, you moving too fast. This is a perfect example. I was dating a woman and I really did adore her and I really did like her a lot. When we got back from a vacation, I was driving home, and on my way driving home, which was about a 6-7 hour drive, she calls me and she breaks up with me. And I was like, what? And I was hurt. I was hurt. I really was. That hurt my heart. But guess what, y'all? I already had a therapist because I was always constantly working on myself. So I literally called my therapist and said, hey, my relationship ended, went to therapy and was working on that. And I went and I met somebody and we had fun. And I enjoyed going out and I enjoyed smiling while at the same time dealing with the stuff that I was dealing with from my ex just breaking up with me suddenly. See, there's this notion that you have to heal in isolation, and you can only heal if you're by yourself, or if you're not entertaining someone else, or if you go out with someone and someone makes you laugh, or you go out on a date with someone shortly after relationship that you're ignoring your pain. You don't know what that person is doing behind the scenes. Somebody could have been saying whatever about me, like, oh, LaQuanda just broke up and now she out with some other female or some other woman. Let me tell y'all, I was still going to therapy. I told the person that I met, look, I just went through this situation. This is where I'm at. I'm not ready for anything serious. I want to have fun and enjoy life. And guess what? You can still have fun and enjoy life while you are healing and working on things in the background. What trips everybody up is folks don't want to be honest about where they at. They don't. For some reason, we think that we got to manipulate people and we got to tell people pieces of the story. You don't have to do that. You don't have to tell people pieces of the story. You should be telling people, hey, this is where I am. Period. This is where I am. You can agree with it or you can not agree with it. If I just get out of a relationship and you feel like I don't want to be a rebound, then it's probably not a good idea for you to try to get in a relationship with me. And a lot of times people don't hear folks. People don't hear folks when they say, I'm just kicking it. I ain't trying to get into nothing serious. I'm just chilling right now. I'm just doing me. You know, people don't want to hear that. They want to see, oh, you're this nice person. You have a great, you have this great attitude. You know, I want to be, you know, a part of, you know, who you are, your environment, your space. And they get attached to that, but they forget all the stuff that you told him. And y'all, let me tell you, in terms of like going through a divorce, y'all, people tend to have checked out of the relationship long before they done hired the lawyer and long before they done filed the paperwork. And so for me, for me personally, I don't need time for that. I don't need time for that. If I have gotten to the point to where I am ending a marriage, I was already gone. So I don't need quote unquote space. I don't need quote unquote time. Now, the person I may get to know after you, I may take my time in getting to know them. But no, I'm not going on a hiatus. No. People dying every day. I'm not finna limit my happiness just for, I'm not finna limit my happiness just because someone feels, like I should be still while going through a divorce. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that whatsoever. Someone actually told me, and it ain't someone, you know, it's someone that I had actually went through this situation with. They were like, they were not going to sign the paperwork. And they were like, so if someone you know, in an attempt to hold, you know, you hostage. And so just like, I'm not going to sign the paperwork. And if somebody's going to deal with you, they're going to have to deal with you as a married woman. I'm just like, no, they're going to deal with someone who's filing for divorce. That's it. That's what divorce is about. You know, that is what divorce is about. That there is an identification. There's identification that there is a separation that had already taken place. There's a different identification that there's a separation that already taken place. So at the end of the day, for me, nope. Dating someone, going out, enjoying your life, experiencing life, continuing to smile and laugh does not mean you're not taking care of yourself. It does not mean that you're not trying to heal. And it most definitely does not mean that you're trying to just get over. It means that you are trying to just really be and exist. And it's a beautiful thing to have happy experiences when you're going through something. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with and let me say nothing wrong. You can take care of yourself and while going through a divorce and still get to know other people. I don't care what anyone says. Now, the issue may be, do you have the emotional capacity to do that? Do you feel like it's morally right or wrong to do that? Those are two totally different things. But yes, for me, an individual can be exiting stage left and enjoying the company of someone else. I do not think under any circumstances that dating while you're going through a divorce is cheating. I don't. I actually think it's quite healthy. Now, this is the thing that I want to also talk about is that, hey lady, give me a call. Okay. But I also want to talk about this part right here now, because this is the legalese. Because I have to mention this, because I know somebody that got caught up. If you are going to date while you are going through a divorce, you need to check with your lawyer first. And the reason why I'm saying you need to check with your lawyer first is because your lawyer will tell you if the court will see that as adultery. And in certain states, it can be viewed that way. So you need to check with your lawyer and make sure you're good on that end. I'm telling y'all what I know. Check with the legalese and make sure you're good on that end. But for me, I'm sorry. I know this may be an unpopular opinion because, we teach women that, you have to take care of yourself and you have to take time for yourself and you have to, nurture yourself, and act like that we can't do that while we are getting to know other people and putting something to bed. Because this is the thing that I think that people need to understand. A lot of people are not used to dealing with themselves. Therefore, they don't know how to handle certain things emotionally or their emotions. And we tend to, as I said before, women tend to be groomed to handle their emotions in the context of whether they're getting into or out of a relationship. Now, there are several platforms that are trying to get, that are working women to just, self-care and focus on your mental health and all these great things, and relationships and breakup are not even a part of it. But I will always say that women have the emotional capacity to heal themselves and enjoy their lives at the same time. And we have to stop viewing women as these weak emotional vessels that always have to take, that all of us, because some of us, do. I'm not going to say that you're not that person. That some of us that all of us have to take a step back and just focus on ourselves. And I'm going to use the word isolation, but isolate ourselves from dating and from getting to know other people, because people say, oh, you're rushing, you're moving too fast. And, that's where we box women in emotionally. We box women into this whole, if you just dated someone, how dare you connect to someone else emotionally. You're just bouncing from person to person to person. Look at how people look at the narrative of how people talk about Lori Harvey. And then this is what happened. People assume that because you date and you enjoy dating that you sleeping with every person you come across. No. There's been plenty of people that I've dated that have never touched me, and I've never touched them. So I think the narrative that women are incapable or shouldn't still explore who they are as they're healing at the same time is a disservice. I honestly do. I think it's a disservice. I don't care what people say, think about me. I wear my truth on my arm. And for me in my life, because I present people and let people know up front who I am, this is where I'm dealing with, this is the phase and the stage that I'm at in my life. People respect that. I don't have to hide who I am. I don't have to hide my experiences from people. And I end up in pretty good situations. Not every good person is going to be right for you. But I, being myself, my very flawed and open self, ended up with a very great, amazing person who is going to become my spouse. So I just had to put a turn on to this narrative and this particular part of the narrative in this whole Derrick Jaxn saga. I'm not getting into the hypocrisy part or the actual adultery that took place because, I done did my dirt. So I ain't talking about that. So, but what I am talking about, this conversation has been exclusively about is dating while going through a divorce cheating. So that is the only angle of this whole conversation I wanted to have and to discuss and just share my thoughts with people, because I was riding for Derrick when it came to this portion right here, that while after someone has told you they don't want to be with you no more, after someone has filed for divorce, and after someone had hired a lawyer and filed for a divorce, for me, I don't feel like you owe that person any loyalty, and they don't owe you any. And what happens during that time period while y'all are going through the divorce is what happens during that time period. And I don't consider dating while going through a divorce cheating. And that is what that's the bottom line for me. So I want everybody, if you just tuned in, you have to catch the replay. I try to keep these things at 30 minutes, but I really wanted to just get all of that out because I was riding hard for Derrick Jaxn early this morning when that initial video had came out, when he did his initial live. And and I was like, no, we got to pull this story back. If we just talking about stuff that happens after someone had filed for a divorce, I'm not here to discuss what happened prior to that. And as we all know, he came out and said that he was unfaithful during the marriage. I'm not here to discuss that aspect. As I stated before, the scope of this conversation was specifically is dating while going through a divorce, cheating. So thanks for everyone who watching. You can follow me, and I'm on Instagram at Laquanda. I am going to be gearing up back on my fitness journey. I had to take a week off because I hurt my back in an isolated incident, and so I was on bed rest for a couple of days. But if you want to see me working out with my personal trainer, the exercises that we do, see my progress, even though I feel like I'm not making progress some days, you can follow me at Laquanda, and I'm always letting you know what videos that are uploaded to YouTube as well. Be sure to comment, like, and share this video. Like I said, I'm not concerned about it being unpopular, an unpopular opinion. I'm all right. I got my person who loves me unconditionally, so I'm good. Thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it. And until next time.